Yep.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah.
I think I've got
All
it
right.
here. Can we get a clarification?
Go ahead.
Can they sell it?
If I can have everyone's...
Yeah.
Oh.
I sent them a rebuild letter, but now they're worried about dogs.
If I can have everybody's attention, please, I'll call to order our meeting for September 23, 2014. Jill, as usual, call the roll, please.
Mr. Matthews?
Here.
Mr. Polly?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here. We've had the minutes prepared for us from our regular trustees meeting, September 9th, 2014. Mike or Dan, did you have any corrections or changes to those?
I have nothing.
I have nothing either. Those will stand approved as prepared for us. Public speaks. We always open the floor to anyone who has any comments or questions before we go through our agenda items. I don't see anybody standing up to the microphone, so I think we'll move right along tonight. Mike, move on with the road.
Okay, Mike. Request a purchase order to Sebring Tire in the amount of $853.50 for tires and labor for installing brakes and rotors for the pickup truck. So moved.
Second?
Yes. Request approval for a purchase order to Hastings Auto in the amount of $325 for a front wheel bearing for the pickup truck. So moved.
Second?
Yes. Request approval for a purchase order to Campbell Oil in the amount of $2,500 for fuel. So moved.
Second?
Yes. Request to approve a blanket certificate in the amount of $1,000 for operating supplies. So moved.
Second?
Yes. Request to approve a blanket certificate in the amount of $1,000 for repairs and maintenance. So moved.
And second?
Yes. And that's all I have.
Was this fuel for the new tanks?
Yeah. It's
Well, it'll just be fuel for, we just keep a running purchase order open, so it'll be for the new tanks and everything, but yeah, we'll be starting to fill in the new tanks.
Yeah, they filled them half
Did they?
the last time we were out.
Mike thought he would do it in a little bit in segments, so it wouldn't be so much money all at one time.
All right.
So,
Excuse me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no,
I was just going to ask, when you said pickup truck, is that your truck or the other truck?
The one that I drive.
The one that you drive?
Yeah.
What's the mileage on it now?
It's at 80,000.
Okay.
79, 80,000.
yeah. Do you have anything for road?
I don't tonight. Thank you as always, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you.
Okay, Chief's called off sick tonight. So,
No, if you would just go right through those, that'd be perfectly fine, Dan.
request approval to approve payment to the National Volunteer Fire Council in the amount of $30 for annual fees. Motion to approve.
Second?
Yes.
Okay. Request a purchase order to the Treasurer, State of Ohio, excuse me, in the amount of $150 for dues for the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund. A motion to approve.
Second?
Yes.
Request to approve payment to the Blosman Fire in the amount of $114.25 for a fire extinguisher. Motion to approve.
Second?
Yes.
All right.
Jamie, what was that fire extinguisher for?
It was,
Here.
yeah,
I don't know where. I
I don't
don't
know
know.
if it was for one of the trucks or if it was, were actually in the, I will check for sure on that.
Yeah.
I called Boston to confirm, and that
That's
did
fire,
say
not
that it was the fire, not the road.
Okay.
But I didn't ask him exactly.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
And Mike?
No, we, just one small thing. We thought that there's a generator that the fire department has that they're not using. It's an old awning. And we thought about maybe possibly moving that out to the road department. I've talked to the chief a little bit about it. They have nothing out at the road department. And if we have a power outage and a storm, they need to get fuel, we could possibly...
This is a portable, not in the trailer. Is it just a portable?
It is in the trailer.
Yeah, it is in the trailer.
But the chief's thinking of possibly getting a smaller one that would be more portable for them.
So the fire department only has the one at this point that's in the trailer? Or is there a different one?
As far as I know, it's just the one in the trailer.
So it's, they just something we just thought.
You talking about the trailer from Minerva? No.
No.
I think they have.
There's one in the gator, the trailer that pulls the gator and stuff.
Yeah.
There is one in there. It's a green one. I don't remember the brand or anything about it.
We just had one fixed, so I think there's two.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because they just had one more, we just sent it out for repairs and got it back a couple weeks ago. So we do have two, yeah.
So is that something we could make mobile, Mike? Is that what you're thinking?
Well,
That we
we'd
can
make
wheel
it,
it out?
we'd make it stationary at the road department. It's pretty good size.
Oh, okay.
But the chief's more, he likes the idea of having just a smaller mobile one for the fire department.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's just something we're talking a little bit about. But
I guess, yeah.
it would be nice for the road department because if we had a power outage and there's a storm, they could get fuel, they could have lights.
So you'd have to wire that in so they can
Yes.
hook that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's just something was brought up. It's not a big deal.
Just do it.
So I talked to the chief a little bit about it, and it's something we're thinking about looking into.
Well, why don't you, so that there's no lapse or coverage or whatever they need for it, just go ahead and have him get an estimate for a smaller one. Get the new one, and transfer the other one out to you. It's more or less just an inventory change, right?
Right. Yeah, just where they are.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
That's all I had.
All right. Very well, we'll move on to zoning. Linda? Looks like you have three things here.
Yes, sir. Normally, I host the zoning inspector's mutual assistance meeting in July at the park. This year we had the July over in Tuscarawas Township.
Okay.
And I don't normally spend over $50, although they usually give me $100. I figured I'd just ask for what I usually use. It's just like breakfast things.
So this time you're just hosting it in upcoming
Yeah.
October here,
Mm-hmm.
and you just need the money to handle the refreshments for the group that comes over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move that we authorize approval for the opening of a purchase order for materials to host the zoning inspector's mutual assistance meeting October 24th at a sum not to exceed $50.
Oh, second.
Yes.
Do I need permission to use the room? Well, I just wondered.
It probably needs to be on the schedule,
It
or else
it
it
is on
could be
the
a conflict.
Available? Okay.
Yeah, I did put it on, because they do have a meeting the next day, so I kept Friday open for her.
To the extent we need any consistency in that policy, I'll move we authorize Linda Chain to utilize the meeting room for the zoning inspector's mutual assistance meeting on October 24th.
Second.
Yes.
All right. Linda, we have your reimbursement sheet for mileage on township business based upon the mileage indicated. Oh, this is for a certified.
This is certified.
It's $45. Huh? $45.43 for certified mailings. I'll move we authorize Linda that amount.
Second.
Yes.
Another thing on that item, we found out from the post office that if we use the township email, we can save $1.36 on each certified mailing by not having to have them send the green card back.
Is that right? Okay.
So, Jill said we could use hers, Jamie said we could use, the one for the township, but it would save us $1.36 for each certified mailing.
Okay.
Sounds okay.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what kind of proof you get of your certified mailings, just so you have that
It
right.
says you can download a copy of
That's fine.
it if you need it, so,
That's what courts have gone to in other entities, so I'm sure it's fine.
okay.
And yes, there's something flying around.
Should we use the one Jamie uses or the one Jill uses? Which would you prefer?
Not sure that matters either.
I don't think it would probably be easier to use the one Jamie does because she's
Okay.
in the office every day.
And she was okay with that, I did ask.
I'll see what we have to do as far as getting that form and getting that email registered.
He said you can download the form,
Okay.
so I did ask at the post office.
All right, final thing on the agenda are the zoning complaints. Anything of particular attention we need to look here?
I went out and checked most all the mowing and things that need to be done, and there really isn't anything that's bad enough that needs done before the end of the year. Found a house on Atwater that had started a building without a permit, turned it into the building department. They have sent a notice out, so we'll be doing that. And I've gotten one response from the 4 complaints out on web. Man is attempting to clean it up, and no response from the non-residential owners yet.
Any others that you'd like us to review?
Not that I can think of. Yes.
You and I had talked about Atwater, on Abbey, the good place. It was like 2 days later, they came out and mowed it.
Yes, they did.
And it's going to be a sheriff's sale.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. So
Yeah, I did check on that.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like within 2 days we talked.
And I did send notice out to the Blue House on Atwater, to the non-resident owners about people living in the trailer.
Oh, you on
We're-
Abbey?
On Abbey, yeah, where you and I
They're both saying out.
Yeah, but we need Abbey.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you.
So at least we're following up on that one. Yeah.
What about the low road complaint that we'd heard a little bit about?
Okay, talked to the building department, and that is an agricultural barn. And they would have to declare it non-safe. So that would be, up to them if they decide to do that. I went out and looked at it. Yeah, part of the roof is caving in. But the sidewalls didn't look like they were being any danger. So I guess
What's that one that woman complained about?
Mrs. Petracci.
Oh,
Debbie Petracci was
okay,
in
you're
here.
right, yeah.
Right there off of 225, right?
And we also did, and we also did get a call from the Army Corps of Engineers. There's a couple of houses out on Low Road, but they're downspouts, and some pumps are draining into the lake, and the Corps is going to be dealing with that. They asked if we had ever issued any permission for that. So we don't issue permission for any of that. We don't do that. So that
So
might
they're going to be coming for them, huh?
That might be an issue because they're downspouts. When the water goes down, they tour the entire lake and see what's draining in. And
That's the time to find it, right?
so,
It's just surface water. You can't have surface water draining into the lake.
I don't know if it's surface water. I don't know what it is. He said you're not allowed to drain anything into the lake.
From what I understand, not even into the ditches anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new Corps thing. You're not supposed to.
Where's the water go?
Leach beds.
I don't understand.
Yeah, and if you run all that surface water into the leach beds, you're going to have septic problems.
Since usually you want something funny from me, it's your neighbor's yard is what they are.
What's out here draining the lake?
Any sense.
Don't have any way to control it, it goes to the neighbor's yard.
But I just, in case it came up to any of you, I just want to know that we were.
How well documented is that low road file? Do we have any record of the communication with the health department or a recommendation?
Yeah, I have a couple things. You want me to get them together for you?
I don't really want to see them at this point.
Oh, okay.
Just so our file is complete. If you haven't
They're
already.
supposed to send me a letter on the barn, which I haven't gotten yet, but I just got the letter on Atwater Avenue.
Does it say agriculture?
And that's fine. But just to document our things a little better on the ones where people are questioning me.
Sure.
You could just send a letter over there that says, just a follow-up to my conversation from whenever, and I'm asking for a follow-up on when you may get to a decision on whether or not to remove it.
That's okay.
And then we can always pull that letter out and know when you last communicated with the health department. That's all.
Well, this would be building department.
Building department.
Okay.
And you may find that many months go by between your letter and but at least we then have some pretty darn clear record of it. All right?
Some things are very fast on over there, and some things it's just, But I think they're getting it more organized now, Angela seems to be.
That's the way it works. That's all right. Okay, anything else?
No.
Very good. Dan, anything?
No, I have nothing.
And Mike?
Thank you, Larry.
Nothing else, Mike? for Zoe?
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Larry.
Mr. Cardinal, anything for us?
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you.
Oh, hang on, let's get it.
A few general township items, so we'll move on to those. It is that time of year again, so next on the agenda is to schedule trick or treat.
Yeah, I've already received some emails wanting to know when it was.
It's usually our toughest decision of the year because it's usually on Halloween.
This year, Alliance is not doing it on Halloween because it falls on a Friday, and they don't want conflict with the football game, so they're doing it Thursday.
There's other communities not doing it on Friday night because of the football games also. I mean, I've just heard that on the radio.
Yeah, so,
I personally don't have a problem adjusting it, but I can tell you
yeah.
that Ed Moffett will be very upset. Halloween night. And I just heard that comment, that, I mean, there's something to consistency, and just having it when it is.
I mean, Halloween is Halloween. I'm thinking about ordering my costume. You can't help it. I'm going into the zoning inspector.
You ran into the predicament last year with the weather changing and then having to adjust it.
Oh,
I mean, that's a different predicament altogether, but... You want to move it or not?
I'm new here.
That's why I'm turning to you. You want to move it or not? We'll leave it up to
Arlington
you.
does have a game that day against the Lions,
Oh, really?
at Alliance. Yeah,
On Friday?
Have we,
on Friday.
Let's go Thursday.
just a question, in the past, have we went with,
But what?
pretty much went with Alliance or not?
As long as I have been on the
No.
board, it's
No.
been Halloween.
Well, and if you do it on Halloween, 5 to 7, the game doesn't start till 7:05. It is technically still before the game.
But it probably will create this is a pretty unique circumstance, being
Yeah.
on a Friday and in the Arlington Alliance game. I don't have a problem moving it, I just...
I don't either. I would think Thursday, is that, or Saturday?
We move it to Saturday.
No, well, I would think Thursday would be the logical thing, because then it would dovetail with Alliance. If you're going to move it, I think you need to coordinate it.
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you want to move it?
Well, I think that way the whole community's on the same night. I don't know what Washington's doing, but
Well, Alliance is Thursday also then?
I think that
Same
would,
time?
I think that would flow well, because a lot of people are intermixed with back and forth.
I think Washington's is still Friday night at the township. They have like a little fall festival.
Yeah, that's a lame.
And, yeah,
Trick or
so
treat.
they don't do trick or treat.
Well, having discussed this far more than we probably really needed to, but it is early, so...
New tradition.
Under the very unique circumstances we're facing here with the Halloween falling on a Friday and a conflict with a football game between Alliance and Marlington, I think it is best that we move trick or treat or set it on October 30. So I'll move that we fix trick or treat this year for that Thursday the 30th, 5 to 7.
I second that.
Yes.
No questions, Rick. We're getting more.
And Ed, we will not have that problem next year, and we'll move it back to Halloween.
I'll take care it doesn't turn out, it'll be okay.
All right, make sure he knows.
Take you some cider too.
It'll be good.
His judgment was always very sound there, to just have it consistent, but I'm sure he understands it's just a unique circumstance.
It is a little bit unique.
All right, any general township items, Dan
I have none.
and Mike?
I have none.
Okay. I'll move we approve the cash revenue and expenditure financial report prepared for us by the fiscal officer.
Seconds?
Yes.
Bills tonight are $48,874.45, and I'll move we authorize payment of the bills.
Second.
Yes.
Typical communication items we've received, I'll move that we file that communication.
Second.
Yes.
Anybody have anything for us before we conclude? No? All right. We'll have one brief meeting in executive session. I'll move we convene in executive session under 121.22G to discuss employment and public employee information.
Second.
Yes.
All right, we'll stand in recess then. Thanks, everybody.